Is there money to be made?
That's the Mystic Police Road Trader. Thanks. And I think you and Delicia would have managed without my help. Actually, I believe the dog could have captured the ship on its own. I doubt it. I've mastered right commands. Either way, the Heartless is now yours as agreed. Your Lordship, if you would permit me to interrupt, I am pleased to inform you that the boarding teams has presented a most extraordinary gift to your dynasty. The heretics were keeping something of rare value in their hold. The Endetiers have completed all necessary rituals of cleansing. The trophy is now yours. Dual pattern macro batteries. 2 shots, dealing 21 damage per shot. We also discovered a large supply of provisions, weapons, and Xeno-sci-fi term catch himself, having seemingly just remembered Saruman's presence, and other valuables, which will be loaded into the flagship's hold with its stream of scrutiny. The ship itself is most impressive acquisition for the dynasty also. All it requires is some light repair. Janus rubs his hands together in anticipation. What would you have us do with it? You could present it to our trading partners. I am confident that they would put it to good use. Alternatively, to transfer some of your subjects to the Heartless and use it to increase trade between your own worlds. A profitable option, to be sure. Mm, have the Heartless repaired. Certainly. And how will you use it in mind? Desirous of corruption, patched up, and assemble a loyal crew. Henceforth, it will serve as a trade vessel for the Madalcian. Once it's cleansed and restored to its proper state, have it protect the flagship. Let some eyes dart over the data slate and hands. I believe we can perform all the critically necessary repairs on the Heartless within the shortest time. Only the fighter launch bay and certain parts of the hull might pose some difficulties. It will take longer to fix those regardless. The vessel will be ready to serve the dynasty without delay. Well, now that all the financial matters have been resolved, allow me graciously to take my leave. These valuables must all be meticulously inventoried. Vetorm offers you a deep bow, glancing sideways at Saruman, who seems to be in no hurry to leave. Once enrolled trader, the performance aboard the Heartless was highly appreciated. As additional token of gratitude from the Adeptus Arbites, I'll be joining your personal security detail, at least until we arrive under Doris to meet with the Marshal. He has business to discuss with you, and I have a mountain of reports to write up about this operation. Assisting Adeptus Arbites. I hope these search sets arrive soon. The longer our journey, the longer the criminals remaining outside the reach of the Empire's justice. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Give me demolition. Mm, okay. Under the effects of the machine spirit communion, his melee attacks deal an additional 50% damage and gain 50% armor penetration. Incinerate. Stop burning. No longer made test to stop burning. Additionally, to target an ally. Every melee attack the ally inflicts fully burning damage on the target. Warp. Mm, yeah. Or Imperium. So many people. Attach ready plus 40 dodge. The target of this attack. If the attack hits, it deals an additional plus 16. Just them. Mm. Ah, shit. Should have, transport some goods. Need 2k more. Explorators. Followers of the Void. So we need to get up to 4. Almost there. We wouldn't be able to trade for anything there anyway. Shipments from Kiev and Gamma. It's the Yanis. Not Yanis, Doris. Retires to a study to ponder what future holds. A while later, his thoughts are interrupted by a timid knock on the door. The Lady Navigator Valet greets you with a deep bow and humbly delivers a tasteful stroll inviting you to a private meeting. Cassie, his lordship has arrived at your invitation. Tacitly absorbed in admiring the shelves of her new personal library, which are all but buckling under the weight of gilded and leather-bound tomes. Upon noticing you, she smiles, barely able to stop herself from rushing to meet you. Ignatius, how did you procure all these works? By the throne, even your personal collection doesn't have them. I would have remembered so many unexplored worlds and stories, dozens of unstudied essays. I am utterly astonished. Thank you. I couldn't have dreamt of a better gift. Her ruby eyes demurely hide behind her lowered lashes. I was not certain if engaged in the long-forgotten noble ritual was prudent of me, and yet you did everything in accordance with the customs of etiquette. I must admit, I rather enjoy this game. I hope you did too. I become heedless, ready to take on any ritual or trials. Will you accept my feelings? An invisible force envelops you in a swirling torment of emotions, and your heart skips every other beat in time with Lady Navigator's breathing. Cassia's power seeds the austere reserve of her face is replaced by the first time of passion in her eyes, the curve of her lips, the slight tilt of her head. With a small nod and a smile of reddening lips, she holds out her hand, pale and trembling. If my sense like this, I would never have believed it. And Cassia's cold hand warms in yours. She awkwardly retreats, trying not to break you with her sharp claws. In that case, Lord Captain, what I mean to say is, your servants have done marvelously in their efforts to adapt these chambers to my needs and tastes. A meek smile touched belt. If I may, I would like to retire after an arduous day, and we shall see each other tomorrow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Visit. Captain Masterhound's been online. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Monbouches dynasty is finally at an end. The doors is straight ahead. We have received countless greetings. Our subjects would like to know when their master will be arriving. The merchant captains, they taking refuge in the orbital dots of their doors, race to send their priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and to make impressions on the rotator. Tell Doris the road trader is coming home. It will be done, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, we pleased to accompany you during your visit to Doris. first visit to Doris, I can personally introduce Achilles Gounder, a servant to the Golden Throne, who previously attended Lady Theodora under Doris. I am counting on your benevolence. The VOD's cast ends with a click. Oop. Proportional to its size. Captain of Transportation of bearing the Martin, the Detson Mechanics is approaching the ship. Matos Tazris delegation intends to board our ship and gain an audience with your lordship. This is exactly how they phrased it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of the comrades neglect diplomacy with interactions with hilarity. It is regrettable. Farthest and most dilapidated air dots that takes them an eternity to traverse the ship. They may indeed be here on important business. It will be done, Lord Captain. Request permission to be present in the audience granted by the Tet comrades.
I always have a backup plan.
Alright, so it's the trophy room. A group dressed in crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks towards you. Their gazes are fixed on Pascal. You know that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow a large Tet priest clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and casting twittering looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture belies a tall frame. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous Tet priest points his hand at Pascal and lets out a booming roar, not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald service girls march with the emblem of the Tog follow in his wake. They bear shrillingly, "Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust, Pascal Harmon. In the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus, you are under arrest." The hunched servant of the Amonside turns to you. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement: Adeptus Mechanicus offer their apologies for would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit on the Rogue Trader's territory. Study the two Tet priests. You identify the rare armor the enormous Tet priest is wearing as sector-plated, mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles, and the markings are anonymous to the status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage looked fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The shivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and then, convulsions shake the Tet priest's body, and a painful-sounding hiss comes from his vots. The tall Tet priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes it a point of not drawing his weapons. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. "Who are you?" In a burst of chattering, the servos girls hasten to translate their master's mighty binary call. An instrument on the Omnissiah authorized to punish and exact vengeance, known by the designation Tarzas Harmon. Identification code recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be. Who just arrived on my ship asking for trouble? Are you CODs? Conflict of authority detected. Official message and Adeptus Metantis are aware of / respect / recognize your right of ownership to this territory and declare no intent to commit an act of aggression. This is an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty Adeptus Metantis unit. The fugitive falsely identifying himself as Pascal Hominin. This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading Tet heresy on the road to Kivia Damon, and making an attempt on the life of the servant of the Omnissiah. The deafening roar of the Tet priest's Vots makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The false unit will be removed. In the name of the Omnissiah, I condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the blare of its Vots alarm. In contrast, Pastel speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, Tet comrade. I deem your logic conclusions questionable. This statement is false, Tet brother. Tarsus Hominin is willingly undergoing holy torment / deterioration, which, however, does not critically affect his cognitive capacity for data analysis. Unit calling itself Pascal Hominin will have information that implicates you. Having learned that you are a member of a retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of a road trader von Valsius, we have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Point at the furious servant Omnissiah. Do you have proof that this Tet priest is who he claims to be? According to the archive of Magos Explorator Tarsus Hominin, served on, maintained the ship, identified, classified in the capacity of a reliquary caretaker. He sustained extensive damage to both the organic and sacred parts of his body in a series of sacrilegious breaches of the right of operation, an assassination attempt. Owing to a statistical fortunate coincidence by the Omnissiah's grace, enough of his operational capacities were preserved for him to don a Goliath model sacred battle harness, which would preserve his vital functionality. Archive entry personally data sealed by the captain of the identifier classified. Sound from the Tet priest's Vots is like the moan of a bending metal beam. A serval skull declares, "For vengeance I thirst as I tread the path of vengeance, following a blasphemous, miscreant, bloody treads." Analysis of the security system showed that the assassin / heretic infiltrated the rectory using Tet Brother Kazus' unique identification code. Someone had stolen such duplicated Brother Kazus' identification, which is a Grand 3 transgression, and the unit marking the alleged criminal claim on Pascal Hallman is known to have previously used / entered the stolen code. What is happening on Kivia Damon? The planet belongs to me. According to the Vots intercepting data, the planet's fabricator sensor made / incorrect blasphemous modification to the manufacturer working procedures, which qualified as a lapse into sacrilege. The Adeptus Metantis are hereby officially notifying the House von Valsius of having commenced an investigation into operations to remove fabricator sensor Cubus Delphin. Estimated time to procedure completion 3.7 solar years. Our data suggests that the unit within the Magos Explorator Hallman's identification code performed the unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vots array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to the unit's criminal complicity with the heretic Cubus Delphin. What do you have to say to this, Pascal? Pascal replies firmly, his Vots tracking with a hint of indignation. I deny these charges. I have never plotted against my Tet comrades. My cognitive purity vows have never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I am the true Magos Explorator Hominin, and I am not guilty. The Tet priest's deep guttural roar bends with the servo skull's high-pitched whine. False witness. I'm not handing Pascal over unless I see evidence. Let's get to the bottom of this together. Request approved. Ready to work in cooperative mode. Tarzus gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving Tet Brother Tarzus opposes lay participation in the investigation search for the truth. The unit Octagon 22 advises in favor of the House von Valsius representative participation request. I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a road trader's retinue member without any justification stands in breach of the law and my privileges as under the warrant to trade. Think you and I should discuss this conversation in private. This bitch chap is creating friction. Request for cooperating review is accepted. I request Tet Brother Tarzus consent to cooperation of representative of von Valsius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. Sacrilege conspiracy. I refuse to help this layperson. I am a cog of the Dos Mechanicus that grinds down corruption. I will carry out sentence immediately. Pastel freezes, but green sparks light up his visor. He extends a hand towards Tarzus and replies in a clanging voice, "Let the cycle be discontinued." You realize Pastel's words are coming from both his own Vots and Tarzan's, and then every sensor in the executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blinding, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention, priority notification. Service units to Kappa Thread supply lines are unauthorized to confront the road trader. Command, retreat, and reinitialize negotiations. Are you going to leave, or am I going to kill your ass? Oh, I'm killing you. Gotcha. Boop. I'm in my tank. Ooh, you got some reach. Right here. Fire. Makes sense that they'd be resistant to fire. Actually, that seems to do more damage.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the
Run and
Emperor
gun.
commands, I act. I'll do it.
All right. Some pretty well spread damage.
Heavy is the tread of his faithful. The Omnissiah knows all.
Keep up as many of them as possible. Apply bleed. Trap them.
Request denied.
Very good.
A dance of
Move right to
blades
there.
and shadows.
If I jumped to there, I can hit all of them.
As honor ordains. I would that I could. I shall
Here it
not
hurts.
fail. As the tenets demand. Caught by the web.
Very good. Large it up in here.
Victory is imminent. It will be done.
Favorite enemy.
Indeed.
So bum rush me through her.
The
Into
Emperor
there.
is on our side.
Buff
Let's see
yourself.
to it. For the throne's glory. Let's see to it. Naturally.
That one's ended.
Let's see to it.
Good shit.
Just as I planned.
Now you. Good dodge. Genta's time now.
As the Emperor commands, none can escape the Emperor's judgment. Doubt is for the weak.
Him.
Power
Up this.
resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it. For you, my Emperor!
They have high
Faith
fucking armor.
without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, each strike is a prayer. This is why I was chosen.
Go.
Running binary override.
Pop that.
My vow is to serve. The scriptural prognosis is favorable. Running binary override.
Hard.
You could do worse, but not by
My
much.
blade
Who even
whispers
taught
your
you to
name.
fight like this?
It's fine.
Trust me. The shadow. Come. The other side awaits.
Alright, he's dead.
I will do my duty. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. For Von
Reach.
Valencius. Indeed. I will do my... I took care of this one.
Sorry, I had to kill a comrade. I also regret have negative assessments of this event. Natus Mechanicis still accused this unit identification itself as Pascal Hominid criminal theft. The identification showed, unlike Tet Brother Tarsus, I am not authorized to immediately arrest as execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. The piercing voice of the bot synth is more overwhelming than Tarzanus' thunderous roar. Tet Brother Tarzanus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the sufferings that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous. Now their torment is over. I declare them martyrs and am requesting Tarz's Hamin's neural augment for purpose of preservation for preserving his blessed memory. An astonished Tet Priest looks at Pascal, leans over the slain man's body, and extracts the augment from his skull. His movements are precise as they are respectful. Listen in silence. With each word, Pascal's voice rose more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony your Tet Brother Tarsus was in. His unbridled pain spurred faith intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voice to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind was merged was morbidly afflicted. The imperative of reverence had paralyzed your will, and you watched the tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge, yet the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There is a plain as Opticon's knees pressed to the floor, Trim's and hooded head are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer, static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, Tet Comrade. You may remain aboard my vessel. Request denied. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dragoris, expresses gratitude for the hospitality ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performance of its regular functions. The Tet Priest looks over at Pascal as if waiting for something. Pascal's mental Nedrick briefly touched the shoulder of Opticon 22, who bows respectfully. Let me loot. Messiah adds a power sword. 10 to 14. Okay. Oh, I didn't take his fucking body.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
This special suit I was about to do Pascal. All right. Begin the scan. the Von Valchius Palace first. Hmm. Damper Protects, welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long, full dress uniform makes a graceful courtesy. Her short graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementa Wershin, Court Chancellor of the Von Valchius dynasty. On behalf of all Dredors, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valchius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star inspires, another always flares to life. And although still overcome with a bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Clementia, Everland offers a reserved nod. She nods in return, and the lines on his brow soften ever so softly. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head tersely. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as they offer a welcoming gesture. Achilles Standard, Secretary of the Administratum Department, I hope your journey to Doris was not darkened by unwanted troubles. We had some incidents, but they are irrelevant at this moment. Alright, Emperor Pratats. May Senator Trula, and may he remain merciful to us till the end of time. Does your lordship wish to serve at the grounds, or perhaps we could state your curiosity by answering the questions you might have? Governor Oblin Dravston has been notified of your arrival under Doris and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for your official visit are well in hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. What did you say your last name was? Naturally, you heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Wershin, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of the functions within the mechanism. Chancellor Wershin has held a position at the Von Valchius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodore's respect through acts of her own perseverance. There is no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. Blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Everyone looks at you surprised, but then immediately puts on an air of indifference. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why is the governor here to greet me? Apology, your lordship. Governor Dripson's residence is on the other side of the world, but the Administratum Palace of Dredors. We sent word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distance of your domain. Chancellor Wershin appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new road trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. There is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Achilles' face brightened with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her late departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It will be ready whenever you may need it. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the luminous Lord Captain could spare a few moments of his for a conversation with me. Bows his head. I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs on the Von Valchius Protectorate most useful. Any loot around the area? There is. got it open. Toss a coin. What am I? I'm down here. Gotcha. Didn't even realize there was more down here. Image of St. Rose is a legal frame. That's Holy Terra, one of the most popular artworks for Terra, actually. Mundus Fallacious. Wait, so you're telling me I can just explore the normal area? What does that entail? Ah, I see now. Guess we need to talk to what's his name. To the palace, I guess. Also, inform you the location of the chambers of your dynasty estate. I can find out on my own. Thank you, though. We got goods down there. More Promethium. Hey, we got extractories. Inscription is attached to the gift of the house. Drop it of the house from Blessius. Where are my private chambers? So that's not it. There it is. Brace when it moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains plus 50% dodge. That please. Hell yeah. Multi-melta. Furniture. In your hand to the scan panel behind the boot, and you open a hidden door. Are these plasma shaper? Plus 10 bonus to tattoos. They also damage. Okay, so that's for Pascal. It's an enemy with area attack. The deal plus 1 stat to Zealot. 10 damage to their area attacks. Okay. Take the last 3 on open wine bottles to a finely crafted table. Have a glass of wine. Flame of purity. The wine fills the glass, letting in the dim light of the room. Liquid gold, its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, bittering aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum of an on-scene motor stir into motion. Choose a book. Lit into the mode of force. Picked up a book, a hidden button in its spine clicks under your finger. You notice a short inscription on the book for a faithful servant of the dynasty in lasting memory. Change the music. Symphony Honor and Duty Part 2. The music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then goes back to normal, seemingly without any change. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in a nearby wall. Inside, you find a databank bearing the Von Valchius coat of arms. let's look at this. Servo stalls, my palace. Nice, nice. Good. This dude's over here, if I remember right. Under figure clad in robes made of a twisted fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes in several deep breaths. Been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wish for your swift return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. I'm not foolish as to fail to notice the conversation in code. Your insight deserves credit, Road Trader. Then again, I expect nothing less from Theodore von Belchi's successor. Henrich looked at Attilas. Allow me to introduce Attilas Scandaler, properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administronomy, acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scandaler has transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the throne's expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your own protectorate. Greetings, Lord Innocent Belch. Just allow me to once again express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy Conrad Valdvir's accomplices on the capital world. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs in the Protectorate. I've already forwarded the official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I would trust any paper or data slate with the contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, is perfectly aware of the gross political environment. You, however, have only just arrived in the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Doris are much like nobles on most other worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Doris are well-respected, rich, and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the road trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, such as one represents with the transition of power. They will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drivestems, the Goprets, the Salbets. I should also mention the Wershians, not a noble house per se, but a family whose was part of Lady Theodora's inner circles, so to the Blue Bloods, great displeasure. The report. Yes, your lordship. There was your lordship. At this time, it concerns me the main reason the presence on this planet, Xenos, and the threat it pose to you and humanity as a whole. 2 months have been difficult to the people who report to me. The eyes and ears are scattered throughout the crown's expanse, warped distributions, astropaths overcome by madness, ships disappearing into the immaterium. Many of my observers or contacts have gone dark and have been killed by some calamity or another. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. Looks you in the eyes without blinking. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when Xenos will strike again. I do not doubt the governor of Drivestem will bed for your protection against the Xenos, and in his fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Ignatius, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from a rogue trader and his mighty void ship to avert disaster. I must take my leave. What is he? There you are. Road Trader, the Marshal is ready to meet with you. Do you wish to commence with the audience? What it is that the head of the Adeptus Arbites in the Expanse wants to see me about. I do not know the details. I would presume a procedure the same as the Lady Theodora. Time of personal introduction, reaffirming the allyship between the dynasty and the Adeptus Arbites, and a discussion of the tithe-related affairs. I'm ready for the business. Jesus. Two distinct figures approach your throne. Marching in front of the man clad in the Adeptus Arbites armor, he carries his helmet in the crook of his arm, but his stern facade serves him as well as any visor could. He bows to you sharply. Marshal Stance of the Adeptus Arbites. Jesus, you are a beast. An old woman walks in with the martial shadow, her body fitted in dozens of stripling implants and the magnifying instruments. If not for her eyes, twisted and inquisitive behind the giant pair of ocular lenses, you might have mistaken her for an exotic servitor. Her robes are adorned with the sacred symbols of the Adeptus Administratum. Moonbow's Road Trader, Ignatius von Valsius I, Prefect Insula Vulture, greets you on behalf of the Adeptus Administratum. I will now begin the due procedure of official address to the ruler of Dragoris on a formalization of amendment law. May your name be wreathed in glory for centuries to come. May your future ever proliferate. May the God Emperor bestow upon you a duty worthy of his chosen. Her monotonous drowning is making you weary. It seems the sense go on for a good while longer. Get comfortable and listen to the end. The prefect resumes her elaborate formula. You notice a few poorly concealed yawns and frenzied blinking among the crowd. The speech dreads on for another 5 minutes, but you pass the test of fortitude honorably. At last, the prefect's address comes to an end. She could give your... Who would give their child a name like that? Seeing you at court. What are you doing in my delegation of the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbites accommodated in the Von Valsius territory so that they may tally and collect imperial tithe from your worlds. Lord Captain Lady Theodora graciously provided them with permission where she could perform their duty, a premise where they could perform their duties, and authorized them to restructure the dynasty archive. If I may continue, as per the decree, Theodora von Valsius, the representative of the Adeptus Ministorum and Adeptus Arbites, are sanctioned to use the Palace of Justice, oversee tithe collection in the Protectorate, and review any and all cases of tithe avoidance, tithe exceedance, or other irregularities. These things have been formalized in numerous pats, and the statutes under the main decree. Considering your new position, you may have yet to acquaint yourself with all the documents. You know, the sister, Lady Theodora, whose alliance with our two sacred organizations forever glorified her as a rogue trader closely tied to the executors of Holy Terra's will, and we are representatives of the Adeptus Ministratum and the Adeptus Arbites, must verify that you are able to maintain this alliance that has brought such repute to your dynasty. The prefect scrutinized you as if trying to estimate your proportions and weight. That is why we have arrived in person, as the present circumstances have provided us with a chance to see your intentions thwarted with those of the late Von Valsius. And what circumstances are those? The prefect's lips contort into a twist. Our work has been distributed by unforeseen setbacks regarding communication and transportation. As our retro-resistant assets were not adequately prepared, we have lost some of our personnel and resources as well. The RBDs are too short-handed to perform all the duties expected of them since they first arrived in the Expanse. Their numbers limited from the onset have only continued to dwindle. After analyzing the situation in accordance with Amendment to Decree, we have decided to notify you that the tie violation committed by one of the worlds in this region, this regrettable lapse, must be rectified as quickly as possible. The old woman shivers and rubs her augmented hands together with an unnerving shriek. In which world was it that had the misfortune of drawing your attention? Thacia, a feudal world far from the main routes that was bereft of imperial light, then rediscovered less than 2 centuries ago. It supplies agricultural resources and manpower. When the governors had missed a tithe payment, I would simply have them hanged and the debt collected. This is not a Van Valsius world. The system is located just outside the border of the Protectorate. The Imperium is built upon strict and unfailing abidance to the Lex Imperialis, and the planet's tithe, even one that is relatively small, must be provided in full. Carry forth the responsibilities taken by Lady Theodora. I offer you my help. An arbitrator will be assigned to you for free security. Protect Anthar front and center. The marshal's voice thunders over the arbiter's reins, and Solomon Anthar marches over to your throne, his cyber mastiff at his heel. Thank you for your support. I will go to Thessia as soon as I can. The Emperor protects. And once again, no specifics given, of course. In my report, nobody ever stops to think. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Louis Kalman, a collector of curiosities. Perhaps your lordship will find something useful among my offerings. And what do you sell? Going for nobles, cyber assistance, of course. Okay. Do you have anything of that sort? My collection will offer you the biggest and broadest selection. Protect priest has known but lost contact. Certain captain who owns a unique protocol, a family heirloom which has been refused to sell me. His ship is called the Day's Fall. Perhaps you can chart a path to his hoarded treasure. I will send you the coordinates. I'd like to see what curiosities you have. Okay. I say plus size strength and weapon skill and deals plus 100% more damage. Whenever the cyber master falls unconscious, then plus 100% static bonus damage stealth until the end of turn. We're